Hey guys, just quick overview of GIZMO solar system as we normally do in class, but I want to go ahead and go over this with you guys. So a couple things we need to understand over here on the left is going to be your information bar. You can choose any planet you would like, as well as the sun. Click on it; it will give you plenty of information here for those. So if the packet asks you for information on those, this is one place you can find it. Here on our main screen, we have two tabs. We have the orbit tab, the size tab. The orbit is going to show the planets orbiting the sun or going around the sun. We got a couple options there. We can show the orbits and it will show the actual line. We can take that off and it'll just let the planets go in circles. We also have four speeds here. I would say don't get crazy with the speeds. Very fast is going to, we may need at some point, but not very often here. The other things that you have down here, you have a play button. We can play it and you can see the planets starting to orbit the sun. We have our pause, we have our reset. Now, the reset is always going to take you back to today, which for you guys will be February 13th. We can change what that looks like. So if your packet says go back to January 1st, we can highlight that one, and we can go back to any year, 2000, and it'll take us back to January 1st, 2000. So throughout this packet, if you want to skip ahead days, you can do that just by typing in the numbers. Zoom in and zoom out over here. As you can see, I can only see four planets, I believe. Let me look at the orbits. I can see one, two, three, four planets. If I zoom out, I can see the rest of the planets. Okay. If you toggle your mouse over top of it, it will tell you the name of the planets as well. So I'm going to zoom back in here. Anytime that I start this, you can see I can go fast, medium, I can do all those things. I can always pause it and restart it. Remember, if it says, so let me backtrack here. There is an arrow that we can use. It's going to actually ask you to use the arrow. I want you to drag the arrow back to the planet and notice how my arrow follows the mouse. So if I want my arrow to come up from the bottom, I'll bring my mouse from the bottom. If I want my arrow to come from the top, I'll bring my mouse from the top. At some point, it is going to ask you, how long does it take, or what is the dates of one full orbit? So if, let's say I wanted to do the orbit of an Earth, I'm going to click here as a start date, which would be February 6th. We know from my class, one full orbit, it should be February 6th of 2024. So click on it and you can see that it would go there. The rest of the planets are not there. Okay, so that's how we would figure out one full orbit for each planet. Drag an arrow, make sure you mark the date. If I were you, I would just start at January 1st for all of them. Drag an arrow there, see where that planet goes, or see how long it takes that planet to go all the way around. You can mark the first day and then the last day when that planet gets back to your arrow. They're not going to be perfect, but it'll give us a good rough number. On the second tab over here, the size tab, this is just a pretty simple one. I want to move my arrow out of there. If you want to get rid of it, you can just drag it back in there. This is just showing us sizes compared to each other. The distance apart is not accurate on this chart, but it is, the sizes are accurate. So you can see the first four planets, the rocky planets, are very small. The last four planets are big, with our big two here in the front. Also on this, if you click on a planet, the information will come up here down on the bottom as well. Okay. I think that is all that you guys need for this gizmo. Please take your time. Make sure you do a good job. If you finish early, it's not going to hurt for you guys to play around with this. Um, as far as looking at the orbits, looking at the distances, the time, and all those good things, and even reading through all the information for each of the planets. So please make sure you take your time, do a good job. Make sure in your quiz you're using this simulation to make sure that you guys are getting accurate answers. I think that is it for me. Do a good job, and I'll see you guys soon.